Hello, hello, this is Calico Kate. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for coming by. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. I've just got a few minutes right now, but I'll come back and finish if I need to. I saw on Shabby Dabby Doodah where she made cluster books, and she took 12 by 12 papers and she just made clusters. Now she did every other page so she could tear them out, and I messed mine up, but I still have clusters. It's just a fun book, and I still have room. I could put clusters in there. Here's another one. I mean, these take, oh, this is a whole empty one. But I want to make another one. That's what I'm in the mood for. My husband had this advertisement in the mail, and he was getting ready to throw it away. And I said, oh, I need that. I mean, it's a journal already. Plus it has a pocket in the back if I should need it. And I thought, you know, I'm going to make a cluster journal. Now, I'm probably not going to have time to make the actual clusters right now. I don't know. If I do, that's great. If it's not, that's fine too. But I also watched Jodify, and she made the neatest little pages in a bag journal and clustered them up. And I thought, okay, Kathy, you're in the mood to cluster. Let's just cluster up and have a chat. I'm making this when it's cold in January. This will probably air sometime later. I'm trying to get videos stocked up. You know what I mean? And in the lineup, or whatever you call it, because we're going to leave for Florida, and when we get back, my bedroom will have been painted. I have somebody do it. We hope to bring the king-size bed down there and put it up. We hope it fits. Our bedroom's small, but it's what my mother-in-law had, so it's what we use. And so, you know, there's that. Now, I have a little drawer here of scraps, and I am pulling from, these are all the scraps I've got. So I'm not a scrap keeper, can you tell? I take that back. I do keep my scraps. I just like using them up. I think using them is as fun or more fun than anything else. That's why I have so much ephemera. That's because I have so much already made. Now, I watched other videos who have lots and lots of, I'll put that on a different page. I don't want them back to back. And I think, oh, what I could do with those scraps. And they don't throw them away, so it's not like they're, see, I have already lost. Now, if somebody could keep track of all of my stuff, I just had that dang ruler There it is. Now, why is it way over here? You know, some people teach to organize. Some people teach, you know, to do all those things. I want somebody to teach me how to see where I laid something down at. Because I am notorious for doing that. And I am going to just take this part off because I can. And I'm going to put this over here on the edge. I saw, sometime at Christmas time, a drinking game that you have your drink there when you're wrapping presents. And I may have it backwards, but something about every time you lose an item, like the tags, your scissors, your pen, something like that, you get to take a drink. Or maybe it's when you find it, you take a drink to celebrate. I don't remember, but I thought that was extremely funny. Now, I'm not doing much thought with this. Actually, I'm kind of going down the pile, as you can see. And just putting these on here. These are going to be covered up with clusters. I just think I don't want the base to be all about sameness. And I'm not worried about matching. I'm just cutting and gluing. Cutting and gluing. I have to go to town and I have to take some fabric I found that I know a friend can use. It's Mizzou fabric, and she's got a daughter there. And I know Elsie can use it, so well, I'm just going to leave that there for right now. Oops. So I'm going to take that by the hospital to her. She's the publications director. And then, and I'm making every one of these pages pretty. I'm not, they're pretty sturdy, but they're very sturdy, exactly. But I don't know that I will ever cut these out, but it's fun right now to cut and glue. Cut and glue. If you've got too many scraps, gosh, I can't talk. You can cut and glue with me. Do I care if these last for all time? Not really. I'm not too worried about any of it. I hope your day is going wonderfully. I hope that you found a purpose for getting up today. I do have trouble getting up. Don't let me lie to you. But once I get up, I have trouble getting started. I can just sit and watch videos and drink my hot tea. So I usually look at my clock sometime while I'm sitting there and say, okay, at such and such time, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whenever I've gotten up, I am going to get up and get going. So then I get up and get going. Start my load of laundry. Because, and I don't feel bad about sitting that long, because I've been up since, well, I was up probably in the middle of the night. Now that's pretty. That doesn't need to be in here, but it does need to be cut and put someplace where it can be used. I like all those bright colors. And I kind of want to use some of these strips maybe for this cluster. But this is right up there with making masterboards and ephemeras and stuff when it comes to getting used up scraps. And we all get them. Now, if I could come up with a way to do fabric without quilting, I don't like to quilt. I'm sure I've said that before. I probably should have used my paper cutter, but you know what? I didn't. So, it is what it is. Okay, that's good for now. Now these little bitty ones I'm not keeping. They will just be in my way. I don't have a liner in my trash. Well, I just emptied it to take downstairs. Anything that needs to be taken downstairs goes at the top of my steps. What can I put here? How about some of these words and use up the scrap a little more? Goes at the top of my steps, and then Emerson and I have trained ourselves to grab whatever at the top of the stairs and take it down. So right now I have some trash from her trash basket and mine to take down there. Yesterday, she and I finished up her Valentine box. She had the idea. She found it on Pinterest, I would guess, and had shown it to me. So we had been saving boxes as we found them that had a lid that opened them. In fact, we even kind of redid some craft boxes so we had them. And, you know, because my craft stuff can go in any kind of, you know, supplies into any box. And so, didn't I say I wasn't going to worry about, I was going to do every page? I changed my mind. So, we made it. Turned out, darling, she found a music box she wanted to make for her Valentine box. And happened to find a ballerina doll paper. I mean, it wasn't 2 inches high. That was perfect for the little dancer. So we found that, and we knew that was going to be the doll. And then cleaning out, I found a little mirror. And then I had plenty of bling and stickles and all that kind of stuff. Yesterday, I painted for her because when she paints, she is covered head to toe. And the paint is so thick, it takes days for it to dry. Granted, she's 9 years old. We like to mess. I painted as she planned and organized how we were going to write her name on the box. Yeah, that was something that kept her busy, so I didn't complain. I got it painted, and she already had a platform painted we had found when we moved her desk from the table behind me over to north of my desk. And so that was going to be the foundation. I had plenty of cardboard in my cardboard pile. I have a cardboard pile for a grandson who just likes to paper glue and on cardboard. He used to make sheds and stuff like that for his tractors, and stuff. Mainly, he just likes to hot glue. So she had worked on how she wanted that to go. And so while our box was drying, we worked on some other stuff and got it all done. Look at right here, this is what I need. So that we could put it together. And I painted very lightly. I mean, it is a Valentine box to be used for one day. So I wasn't going to kill myself, you know. I wanted it covered, I wanted it pretty, but I wasn't going to have it thick to last forever. So we got that done. I figured out a way to make her doll stand. She was still working on how to write her name on it. And it was kind of funny because that was so important. And it was to her. And it was her Valentine box. So we got all that done yesterday. And she could have taken it home, except we wrote her name in sickles. And the stickles wasn't dried. And so her daddy came up. When he came up to get her, he said, you know, that's a lot fancier than Daddy would have done for you. And she grinned. She said, it wasn't hard. It goes for Nana, maybe. And I had the stuff. That's what makes it so easy, is I already have all the stuff here. It's just, and she was so wanting to use her washi tape. Well, washi tape was not going to fit on it or work very well. So I told her, I said, use your washi tape for the actual Valentines. Oh, I could do that. I don't know what kind of Valentines I'm getting. Well, honey, when you do, you know where all that is up here. I said, just come up and get it. And so she got that all done. So it's dry now. But it will probably stay here until close to Valentine's Day, because that way their dogs or something like that won't get into it. I'm trying to use up some different paper. So I was glad to get that done. Her dad had saved the last 2 years in case we didn't get it done. Last year we made a Starbucks cup and used an oatmeal box. And covered it. And then, I don't remember the year before, her dad made one in kindergarten and never made another one. He just kept it year after year. Kept the Valentines in it, got out all the candy and stuff, put the Valentines back in it. We put it on a shelf in the attic, and yikes, the next Valentines, he took it out, emptied up the Valentines, used it again. When the teacher said you no longer have to have a Valentine box, he did it. He was that way with his crayon box. Got a crayon box. Each year, he replaced what needed replaced. Counted out. He didn't care if his crayons were broken. He didn't care if he had scissors with his names on them from another teacher. He didn't care. And then we always bought new pencils. And we always looked in the school, you know, the new school supplies box, because I was a teacher. I wanted to know what was coming at me. And if there was new stuff on his list he hadn't had before, we purchased those. And away he'd go. He had a orange Gap fleece sweatshirt. This would have been in the 90s. Got it a little big, and he was a tiny guy. He was never very big. He was tall, but not big around. And so shirts would last him, you know, a while if I bought them, you know, long or whatever. And it was funny because he had an orange fleece sweatshirt he wore every day. I washed it on weekends because that was the only chance I got to do it. I think the majority of the girls in his class had put it on when they were cold. He wore that clear through 5th grade? 6th. I think maybe 6th grade. It was 6th grade because the kids were teasing him about, was it going to junior high? He said no. Some of the girls that had worn it said, "Can I have it?" He said, "Nope." I have no idea how old he was when he got rid of it. He just saw no reason, and still is that way. His dad's that way. You know, no reason to get something new if he had something that worked. You know, when I was a kid, and I think most kids are this way, you know, they want the new. You know, they want the stuff that's... Emerson is definitely that way. And she likes to look throughout the year because there might be a new kind of pen or pencil. That's her thing. She wants the new pens and pencils and erasers and the, you know, stuff like that that she can use. Now these little pieces I'll probably use in the clusters. But see how easy this is? Totally mindless. I'm going to cut this out for an ephemera piece or something. I don't know. But it is too cute. It's pretty big, so may go on a master board. And but that's how he did. And then I'd get so frustrated with kids whose parents didn't have the money. And I would tell them, nobody says they can't use the stuff they had last year. And I'd give them the Andy story. And he was pretty well liked and known, so you know, it wasn't like he was a kid everybody, fortunately, you know. I don't want to be that way because, you know. And I said, they do not have to have all the brand new. You know, keep it for next year. Now, I don't think it's fair to let the next kid come in. I have to use it. You know, I personally think every kindergartner should get a new box and the whole new stuff because they just should. But if you have, and there's a lot of kids like Andy that couldn't care less. You know, Mom would go in and buy their supplies for them, and because they sure didn't cater. And those are the kids that they don't want to go. Don't make them. Reuse what you've got. Just saying. Hello? What you getting?
I had to break down pink and blue.
Oh, I can fix it.
Very good, very good. Who you chatting with?
I'm doing a video.
Oh, sorry.
No big deal. I'll just edit or leave you in there. There we go. And that is a cluster book. Now let's make, oh, I can put that house on the cover. Let's make a pretty cover. Find the repair shop if something needs glued or sewn or that kind of stuff. He's a repair shop if it needs nailed. And so one of the things the kids had gotten him one year fell off and needed more than Elmer's. Well, I don't even know if I've got Elmer's glue down there. We just put it here, you know. It works for me. And oh, it's not going to probably go back up immediately. He's, you know how guys are. And okay, gonna keep this kind of simple. We'll make it kind of pretty. Not too pretty. Need a little pink on it. I love my pink. This is Italian paper. I ordered it from Roxy Creations eons ago. And I still have some. I've shared it in Happy Mail. See, I need that drinking game for my ruler. What do I want to... And if you notice, it can be sitting right in front of me now. Okay, so I think I started this at the bottom, didn't I? Oh, well. That's okay. It's not going to look like I planned it. Glue sticks. I go through the glue sticks so quick. Or wouldn't know how when I like to make master boards and clusters. I mean, Now I want this to stay flat, so I don't want to put, you know, any raised three-dimensional things on it, because I want I just want it to be able to, you know, store flat. I don't want it to be bumpy like I have so many things. I don't want that brown, I don't think. Here's another. Looking forward to my hair appointment. I'm not ready for one, but I know I probably won't take time to get one while we're going. So I think I'm just going to stick that on it. Maybe put some washi tape down this side. I don't have much solid colors, but it needs to have, let's use, no, let's use this plaid. Emerson saying, I don't know how to get these open. She said, my eyes, you got glasses on. Your eyes are better because you didn't wear glasses up. I said, honey, to me, washi tape, it's not seeing where it starts, it's feeling where it starts, unless you guys all have a better idea. So there's that. Now I don't want any sticky hanging over just because it makes it stick to stuff, and that's annoying, isn't it? All right. I'm going to regret throwing stuff away without a liner. And there we go. And that is my cluster book. And now I'll see what time. I don't even know what time it is. So I better quit for now, and then I'll come back and show you how I'll finish it. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you later. All right, my hair's all purdied. I got my errands run, and I'm back. And now I'm going to make some clusters. I just love getting my hair done. You know, it's just so relaxing. So all I do when I make these clusters, make a circle, put another circle, and you can use whatever scraps you want to use. And now I tend to get mine too big, which you could always make them smaller. You can't make them bigger very easily. But, and then you glue them together. Now, the more, scraps you got, probably the better. And there's a cluster. And then I've got this piece. And what you do then is when you're ready for them, you tear them out of your cluster photo book, if you want to, and then you decorate it. And you then have an extra layer to put on it. Now, you don't even have to tear them out. I saw where one lady made some, and she just looks at the pretty clusters. That is what I'll probably do, because we all know I like making them. And then, if you're using the clusters I already have, you can just decorate. Now, they were only doing 2. I did 3. And I could now add this to one of these, or I could add it, to a page maybe that looks better with, what I've got. And these were 12 by 12s just folded and sewn, which is different than what I did because mine was already made. See, this is smaller because it was already made. And then I can just glue this on. I can choose what page I want to put it on, to make a different kind of cluster. I can choose where I put it on, so I know what the background's going to be like. I can make it in the middle, so I have a little bit of all of it if I want. And then I'm done. And that's how you do it. And I don't think you need me to show you how to make a cluster. So I hope this finds you well. I hope you're doing great. Have a wonderful day. And always remember, you have a purpose. Bye for now. All right, my hair's all purdied. I got my errands run and I'm back. And now I'm going to make some clusters. I just love getting my hair done. You know, it's just so relaxing. So all I do when I make these clusters, make a circle, put another circle, and you can use whatever scraps you want to use. And now I tend to get mine too big, which you could always make them smaller. You can't make them bigger very easily. But, and then you glue them together. Now, the more, scraps you got, probably the better. And there's a cluster. And then I've got this piece. And what you do then is when you're ready for them, you tear them out of your cluster photo book, if you want to, and then you decorate it. And you then have an extra layer to put on it. Now, you don't even have to tear them out. I saw where one lady made some, and she just looks at the pretty clusters. That is what I'll probably do, because we all know I like making them. And then, if you're using the clusters I already have, you know, you can just decorate. Now, they were only doing 2. I did 3. And I could now add this to one of these, or I could add it, you know, to a page maybe that looks better with, you know, what I've got. And these were 12 by 12s just folded and sewn, which is different than what I did because mine was already made. See, this is smaller because it was already made. And then I can just glue this on. I can choose what page I want to put it on, you know, to make a different kind of cluster. I can choose where I put it on, you know, so I know what the background's going to be like. I can make it in the middle, so I have a little bit of all of it if I want. And then I'm done. And that's how you do it. And I don't think you need me to show you how to make a cluster. So I hope this finds you well. I hope you're doing great. Have a wonderful day. And always remember, you have a purpose. Bye for now.